we got the top 5 guys. We talked about him as one of the big surprises. Chris, you were with us in the comments that said this next guy, Will Levis, who dropped to the second round, you said he was going to be a bust. And, I mean, his girl left him at the draft on opening day. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is kind of – we've seen what happened. Is this going to be like an Aaron Rodgers where in 15 years he's one of the greatest to do it? Or is this going to be a Josh Rosen?
That's a tough one because – I mean, you can make the argument. I know a lot of people thought Aaron Rodgers should have gone first that year when just coming out of Cal, but he also went to a phenomenal situation.
Yep.
I don't know that I'd call Tennessee a phenomenal situation. You got Derrick Henry to hand off to for we don't know how much longer. You got a bad offensive line, not too much a wide receiver, a coach that is arguably on the last year. If Tennessee starts to stumble here, he's gone. A quarterback ahead of him that says it's not my job to mentor him. So it's a tough one. I've said all along that it wouldn't shock me 5 years from now he's the best quarterback in this draft. It also wouldn't shock me if he's on his third team.
Right.
He's another very boom or bust kind of guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I mean, hopefully for him, he can, succeed in the NFL. You want these guys to do well. But one of the things Will and I talked about was, we saw how, he didn't have Chris Rodriguez in those first 4 games this year, and he struggled. He struggled mightily. And we look at Chris Rodriguez a year ago when he had, almost 1,400 yards, or 2 years ago, but he had almost 1,400 yards. And how everybody had projected Will Levis to be the next Andrew Luck, the best pro-style quarterback and everything. But when he didn't have a running game, it was very interesting. On top of the fact that you got Tannehill, who's very open about, this is my job until otherwise stated. And then you got Malik, which is the opposite of Levis in the sense that Malik was last year's Anthony Richardson. His ceiling was extremely high, but so was his floor was extremely low, and we saw what version of him we got. So it's going to be interesting to see where Levis plays into that whole role, and if he gets a little attention, man, we'll see. We will see. It's going to be. I don't know what to expect from him, but Tennessee, you're right. Tennessee is not. I mean, that's not a spot you don't want to end up. Go ahead.
Just going off of Chris's last comment there. He hasn't openly said again this year that it's not my job to mentor him, but he did say this seems like deja vu, referencing the quarterback last year and everything that went along with it. So it's I mean, it might be a stretch to pull it's not my job to mentor him again, but when he says it's like deja vu, you kind of see the pieces falling in line there. And the rebuilt offensive line, we just got to see it.
Yeah.
Because the pieces are there 100%. They did a good job addressing it. We just got to actually see it come into play.
Right.
I love this response for them.
And even though, we know what he said or didn't say last year, he might not have said it this year. But the fact of the matter is, 2 years in a row, your team has spent an early pick on a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't bode well, in my opinion, for you, especially like when you got a coach that, like Alex said, on his way out. It's going to be interesting to see, what happens, how early they bring him in. The Tennessee fans need that to kind of get them jump-started. I mean, let's think about what they've dealt with. People have said, they're on their last leg. They're in rebuild mode. Their coach potentially on his way out. There were potentially talks and rumors of them shopping the best player on their team. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns around.